What's up, everyone? Welcome to today's video. Welcome to the Video Game Fight School channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. Today we're going to still be talking Helldivers from the perspective of PlayStation having made what I think is a smart decision, bringing the game to PC day one. I remember talking about this in other videos where we're talking about the strategies of both companies, and I've always said, because I want PlayStation to be competitive, that they really need to rethink the way that they actually do business. A lot of folk have said that, it doesn't seem like PlayStation is going to give up this exclusivity thing that they're doing and, whatnot. But the truth is they already gave it up. The challenge is they're giving it up as slowly as they possibly can because it, for some time, worked out for them. And, from a perception perspective, it's still working. However, from a profits perspective, there's still a challenge because we saw the Insomniac hack and we saw those documents, and PlayStation does not have the money to go tit for tat with the new game in town, which is Xbox's heavy content acquisition, buying up Bethesda, buying up Activision, and dropping a ton of games on Game Pass via their first party, this is Xbox, and third party selection. A lot of people are hungover with the little details. Oh, Game Pass isn't growing. Oh, Game Pass doesn't have this. But the reality is, Game Pass is already profitable as is. Now, with the Activision content, if they're going to drop it on there, that's a whole different question. And if they don't drop it on there, things still maintain the way it is with Game Pass. According to Sony, bringing in about $1.5 billion, this is in their hack, that Sony has to find a way to catch up with. So Sony knows that their business model, according to them, is outdated and behind the competition. Jez Corden said Helldivers 2 just became PlayStation's biggest concurrent player-based game on PC ever. Expect more day-and-date PlayStation games on PC, in my opinion. This is his opinion. It's also my opinion as well. Just makes sense to target both platforms with your marketing cycle, spend, and literature. It makes a whole lot of sense, ladies and gentlemen. There's no reason to be playing this so-called Zelda game where you're going to lock your content to your platform. You're not Nintendo. I've said this many times. PlayStation is not Nintendo. They literally don't have the luxury of doing that. It may be selling them consoles, but like I've said, the consoles don't necessarily seem to carry that market segment in terms of what it is that they can do with selling their games. Why? Very simple equation. PlayStation players are mostly playing Fortnite, FIFA, Call of Duty, and other titles, yet their own exclusives are converting a maximum of about 7% within their more recent launch windows. What I mean by that is a game like God of War Ragnarok that sold 15 million copies did so when there are almost 200 million PlayStation 4 and 5 consoles. So when you sell 15 million, yet other games that are on your platform are converting way more than you. For example, Red Dead Redemption 2, which has now sold, yes, it took it a number of years, but it has now sold about 61 million units to date, which is actually better than anything Sony has ever sold because of the simple fact that Sony is exclusive with its, paradigm. But look at this particular situation here for those who may think, well, Sony still has some advantage. They really don't. Why? Because these other companies don't have to carry hardware, don't have to ship hardware, don't have to do logistics to make hardware. They make software and sell it on Sony's already established hardware market and Xbox and PC's established market, and they make a ton of money. They own no such thing as a hardware dominance in the market like Nintendo or anybody, yet they bring in so much profits that Nintendo, Sony, and Xbox would love to see profits like that. This is just the reality. So with this in mind, I think it makes sense why companies like Tencent is big, yet they have no hardware. Take-Two Interactive, which is the parent company of Rockstar, they have no hardware. They make a lot of money. Activision, before they were acquired, they have no hardware, yet they make a lot of money. Ubisoft, as much as people may be saying, oh, they look like they're going to be dead soon. The reason they're not dead yet is because they sell software. They keep selling it. Even if it's like, oh, we got it on sale, or even if it's like, oh, we don't like this game or whatnot, they have a pipeline where they dish out software like crazy. From Software has climbed its way to the top. Kadokawa, which is the parent company of From Software, just acquired Octopath Traveler developer. Now, this is what you're going to be seeing with the content delivery and the content availability out there. And Sony's marketing scheme in terms of we're going to create a nice, beautiful exclusive that is like a movie for you to look at rather than play. That's my opinion anyways. I got tired, guys. We're going to create them. You're going to buy our console and play them is no longer as feasible as many might think. The games are just very expensive to make. This is why you're seeing remasters all over the place with nothing coming, from a perspective of trying to build anything even new. That's another thing too. Many people have not necessarily paid very close attention to. There's not, even as much as PlayStation could make these very interesting single player games, there doesn't seem to be much new ideas being put out. Days Gone was a new idea, but it got killed because the press or whatever it is and the sales didn't do very well. So they have to depend on established, IPs like God of War. They have to deal with established IPs like Uncharted, which we've heard rumors that they're making a remake of the old Uncharted games. The Last of Us, which was a hit in its right, is also going to be leaned on heavily, but they don't went and spoiled part 2 with their nonsense writing, and that did not do as successfully well. So there are very thin rooms for margin within these, single player games that people usually tout from, PlayStation, as if no one else in the industry can make good single player games, when in reality, we've been playing some really good single player games all this while. I mean, look at a game like Hogwarts Legacy. Hogwarts Legacy came in and will outsell everything PlayStation has made. And this is from good old Warner Brothers that can't even launch a superhero game that everybody likes, yet they can just out of pocket whip out some, beautiful IP if they really wanted to, and they can make a lot of money. So the competition is on, and that's why you see PlayStation not sleeping. They're not sleeping. I know a lot of people want to make it seem like, oh, PlayStation has this, whatever, they need the money. And again, like I said, you'd have to go back and look at the Insomniac leaks to see the health of PlayStation, their ideas, and where they stand with their strategy. If you don't do that, you'll think what I'm saying is crazy. Some people said to me in the comment section, you're reaching. I'm not reaching. I replied, I said, I'm not reaching anywhere. PlayStation is the one that's reaching and is putting a game like Helldivers, in my face. I mean, guys, it is so interesting that you can even buy Helldivers on CD keys for a little less money than you would on PlayStation. Like I've always said, with a PC platform, you can get your games less expensive. You can get them in mostly better quality. Now they've added some DRM stuff here, and I'm not going to play Helldivers. I'm not interested. I'd rather just, I actually want to go back and play The Division. I would have tried it out, but it doesn't interest me. The first one never did. And the second one is not in my purview. If you actually understand what I mean. But this is the reality that we're in. And again, I even saw like a lot of the PlayStation, the superhero games go on sale, and Spider-Man is like $23 or so. And a lot of the PlayStation games are already here, selling even on third-party sites, which, signals to me that very soon, more than anything else, PlayStation is going to be wanting to dial into the second biggest gaming market so that they can stay competitive. Sticking with the PlayStation 5 is not going to be the way for them to go in terms of just maintaining pure exclusivity. And they know that they need to tweak their strategy a little bit. They even said it in their, in their financial documentation. It's not a matter of, if, it's just a matter of when. And so I suspect, and Horizon Forbidden West is about to come out on PC as well. I don't know if you know. So these exclusives are no longer exclusives anyways. I guess we should call them timed exclusives because that's all they are. But anyways, let's talk about this in the comment section. I know people have some other things to say about Xbox and such, but Xbox's strategy is actually a very strong one because now they're basically taking it all the way from just the Xbox console to the PC, and they want to start moving things to PlayStation and maybe the Nintendo Switch. This is going to give them that Hogwarts Legacy advantage that many people are not seeing. And I'll talk about that in a separate video. So thanks so much for watching. Appreciate you guys so much. Peace out.